Welcome back. In the previous lesson, you learned about finding an idea based on something you truly care about. And today, we're gonna learn if that idea of yours satisfies a real need. I always ask myself 3 questions before I start any business. And today, I want you to ask yourself these same questions. But before I share these questions with you, I wanna tell you a story that led me to create my very first $100 million product. So this is a story. Imagine being at my family barbecue. My last name is Agrawal. And so our barbecue is called Agrapalooza. It's our annual summer barbecue where we do a ton of games like 3-legged race, egg toss, volleyball, diving competitions, like all these really sort of competitive, fun summer games. And my identical twin sister and I are the reigning 3-legged race championship winners because we're twins, and it's almost cheating because like twins tied to each other running is like practically the same person, but still, we're still the reigning 10-year champions. And we were defending our championship title this year. This was in 2005. And while we were tied to each other, the whistle blew, off we were, the finals, we won the heat. This was like the finals to win the 10-year reigning championship title, win bragging rights. And then literally in the middle of the race, my twin sister Radha started her period and literally just bled everywhere. And because we were tied together, it bled into my sock too. And we were like running, we were like, oh my God. She was like, oh my God. And we ran to the finish line in first place, of course, because, still competitors. And we ran to the finish line, up the stairs, still tied to each other, into the bathroom. And literally, like as she took off her bathing suit bottoms and was washing the blood out of her bathing suit bottoms, and it sort of like washed out, that's when the big, in French we call it coup de foudre, it's sort of like lightning bolt hit with the idea, oh my God, wouldn't it be amazing to create a product a pair of underwear that never leaked, that never stained, that supported women every day of the month, that actually like took care of us during important moments like the 3-legged race. And then I started thinking about my older sister, and Yuri, I'm gonna call you out right now, and I love you. But one day I was at her house and I slept over and I forgot to bring a pair of underwear. So I kind of went to her underwear drawer to try and borrow a pair of underwear. And every single pair of hers had like a period stain in it, basically, like an old period stain. And I remember going to her and I was like, what is happening to every single one of your underwear? This is like crazy. And she was like, Mickey, like I'm a head and neck surgeon. Like in the middle of an operation, I can't say like a 12-hour operation, yo, face, while it's open and bloody, I'm gonna go and change my tampon, I'll be right back. And like, so she would just have accidents constantly in her blues, in her doctor gear, in her underwear. And I started thinking about being on the soccer field. I played soccer professionally for a couple of seasons for the New York Magic. And in the middle of a game, while you're like literally competing to win, you can't be like, yo, ref, can you stop the game? I'm gonna go change my tampon. Like, you just can't do that. Like, if you're stuck in traffic, if you're on a first date, if you're performing, I mean, how many performers have talked about like the time they did a grand plié and like the tampon flew out of their, thing and it like blood everywhere. I mean, these are stories that are real life stories. And for all of you men watching today, just so you know, a woman's period is here. Like without that important time of the month, you would not be here. So maybe respect it, maybe celebrate it, maybe honor it, and maybe solve problems when we deal with it for women. So, okay, so then we had this idea, oh my God, and we started thinking about all these use cases. And from there, we spent the next, several years developing the product, and then, the story will unfold later in this course. Then we took that idea, that simple idea from a 3-legged race to well over $100 million company. So, oftentimes, it starts with you. And so let's get to those 3 questions. So the 3 questions are, the first question, to ask yourself before starting any business, what sucks in my world? What sucks in my world? Question number 1. What are you mumbling to yourself about more than 3 times? My coach, Lauren, always says that to me. She's like, if there's something sucky in your life, and you're mumbling about it to yourself more than 3 times, and you have to do something about it. So what sucks in my world? That's the first question. For me at the time, like having a period accident, in the three-legged race sucked in my world, and playing soccer and in all these random situations sucked in my world. So question number one, does it suck for me? What sucks in my world? Question number two, with Tushy, what sucked in my world? Having a raw, painful butt. Question number two, does it suck for a lot of people? I mean, it's so funny because when I go and give talks, around the world, and one of the questions I ask is like, okay, how many women do we have in the room? Raise your hand. And all these women raise their hands. And then I say, who here, keep your hands up if you've ever experienced a leak, an accident, or a stain on your period. And every single woman kept their hands up, keeps their hand up. Every single talk that I give. It sucks for every single woman, half the population in the world. And then, of course, does having a dirty butt suck for a lot of people? Yes, if you have all kinds of GI issues like we talked about, chronic UTIs, anal fissures, anal itching, all these things, hemorrhoids, yes, it sucks for a lot of people. Question number three is the most important question. So first question is, what sucks in my world? Second question is, does it suck for a lot of people? And because if it sucks for a lot of people, then it's a business, it's an opportunity, right? There's a market. And then the third question, most important question, can I be passionate about this issue, cause, or community for a really long time? The saying goes, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Can you sit in this business, in this idea for at least 10 years? And the only way you can do that is if you're passionate about it. Can you be passionate about this issue, cause, or community for a really long time? Okay, so again, those three questions are, what sucks in my world? Does it suck for a lot of people? Can I be passionate about this issue, cause, or community for a really long time? At least 10 years. You have to mentally prepare at least 10 years. And if nothing comes up, in the moment of the thing I wanted to start was it doesn't really suck in my world, just like a one of many product. Again, I suggest United Nations Sustainable Development Goals or the Gates Foundation, and really find as a starting point to kind of jog your mind on what problems exist in the world. One of the ways to really think about these questions, like what sucks in my world, does it suck for a lot of people, can I be passionate about this issue, cause, or community for a really long time, is to start going to Google, start going to research, and start just writing down what are the most alarming statistics around this problem that I'm trying to solve. Then you're like, oh wow, I can then explain this product a lot easier to someone else if I have not only my own experience, but I also have facts and statistics to support it. So now, the next quick thing to think about is, do you want to create a physical or digital product? This course is really focusing on physical products, but really, actually, holistically, a lot of it matches up. To give you a little description of the difference between physical and digital, physical product entails an actual tangible product that you can hold or see in the world. A digital product is any product you sell online that doesn't have a physical form or substance. So for example, my husband Andrew started a really epic digital product called Tribute, which basically easily collects videos from multiple people and collects them and edits them into a quick video montage so you can give it as a beautiful gift to someone that you love. And that's a digital product. For me, with my restaurant, which is food, or Thinks with the underwear, or Tushy with the modern bidet, I offer physical products. Now, the interesting thing is you can actually turn digital products into physical products and vice versa. So even if you start with one, doesn't mean you can't go to the other. So for example, Andrew with Tribute is a digital gift product, but he also sells video greeting cards and gift USBs, so he can toe the line between digital and physical, even if most of his business is digital. Does that make sense? So this course works for both physical or digital product, even if I'm again focusing on the physical product part. A lot of the fundamentals apply for both. So you likely know which direction you want to go in already with what you're thinking about for your business. Do you want to create an app? Do you want to create an ebook? Do you want to create an actual physical product, like a thing? Ask yourself that question. So your actions for today are, number one, ask yourself those 3 questions and write them down in your journal. What sucks in my world? Does it suck for a lot of people? And can you be passionate about this for a really long time? And then the second action item is figure out what kind of product you'd like to create, physical or digital. Likely you already know, but still write it down. And then again, a very important part, share your answers with the tribe so you can hold each other accountable. All right, so next we are going to discuss how to really stand out with your product and the importance of making it one of a kind. Standing out is pretty much everything when it comes to building a company, because otherwise you're just one of many and it's just a race to the bottom, versus creating a product that really just stands out and shines. That's something to really think about. So until then, happy building.